Right now, fighting words from the Democrat looking to unseat Nancy Pelosi as House Minority Leader. Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan saying President-elect Donald Trump's victory sent a strong message to the establishment, but he used a bit more colorful language. This as Nancy Pelosi just sent a letter to her colleagues to shore up her cause. Meantime, Congressman Ryan says he fears for the future of the Democratic Party.
I'm pulling the fire alarm right now is what I'm doing in the Democratic Party. I believe we're in denial of what's happened. I'm pulling the fire alarm because the House is burning down.
Joining us now, Hank Scheinkopf, former Democratic consultant for the Clinton-Gore campaign. Also with us, Patrick Griffin, former media consultant to 4 Republican presidential campaigns. Welcome to both of you. Hank, to you first. Is the Democratic Party in denial?
Look, it's not unusual for party leaders to be in denial after they take a whipping, which is what occurred last week. And change is not an unusual thing. Look at the history of the Republicans also. The Republicans went through significant leadership changes, and one of those outcomes was Newt Gingrich and the fall of 2 of his successors, a period of loss, gain, and now the Republicans are back in power. So getting rid of leadership when you have an electoral debacle is not new.
Well, sticking with you for a second, Hank, does that mean that it's Nancy Pelosi's time to go? I mean, you said Republicans got rid of their leadership.
It would not be an unusual outcome, frankly. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? Who knows? You know, politics, with all the nonsense aside and all the punditry left behind us, is ultimately about counting who's got the votes.
Now, she ascended to the Speaker of the House position back in 2006. She has written a letter to her colleagues, her Democratic colleagues in the House, suggesting that there should be changes ahead. She says, we've all been shaken by the election of Donald Trump and by what it means for the American people, whom it is our honor and responsibility to champion. The letter goes on. In the course of my conversations with members, I was especially interested in their desire to have a stronger role in their committees. This is music to my ears because that is exactly what was essential to our success in 2006. So, Patrick, can she turn to the 2006 playbook and keep her speakership? I'm sorry, minority leader position.
You know, John, I don't really know, but they talk about those 5 stages of grief, and I agree with Hank. At the end of the day, it is not unusual after change to do a post-mortem in, in an election and to try and change things. The problem is the Democrats, including the minority, are finding themselves thumb-sucking in a corner. Denying the outcome of this election is no way to enter a 12-step program. You start by admitting you have a problem. Remember that dumpster fire we Republicans had going for a long, long time? Well, that's going on in the Democrats' backyard right now. The problem has been that the Democratic Party that has long tried to convince us it was working for working folks in this country has lost complete and utter connection to their very core constituency. The elitism, the listen to us, do as I say, not as we do, this is what's resulted in the election of Donald Trump. The Democrats had better figure this out, because unless they make this change to Tim Ryan, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to figure out how to go forward.
I don't think it's that simple. Both parties are in serious trouble, the Republicans as well as the Democrats. Their ideological core is at risk. Trump is a response not just to Republicans or Democrats. He's a response to elites overall, and he pulled everybody with him because he happened to be on that Republican line. But both parties are in serious trouble here, and they're both in denial.
But Hank, they're not in denial. At the end of the day, a lot of us on both parties have had problems, and the Democrats continue to have problems with Donald Trump. Here's the memo. He won, and he didn't just win with Republicans. He didn't just win with sort of middle right Republicans. He won evangelicals. He won, social conservatives. He won economic conservatives. He pulled in women. And the conspiracy of African Americans and Hispanics that were supposed to deny him this election, that didn't happen. America wanted change. He's the change candidate, and he's also the disruption candidate. And I think most Americans are pretty happy with that right now.
Hank,
I think that exactly makes my point. This was a change election. He just happened to be on the line. He is not an ideological conservative by any measure, nor does he fit normal Republican kinds of boundaries. He was able to cross party lines, cross racial and class lines, and frankly, the Democrats and the elites in Washington, on both sides of the aisle, were absolutely castigated by that election.
Talking about elites, though, Patrick, Nancy Pelosi is one of the richest members of Congress. She hails from San Francisco. She's been leader of the Democrats in Congress for 10 years and a member elected well before that. I just wonder, a guy like Tim Ryan comes from